Good evening, I'm Matt, and welcome to my second video. This will be a tutorial on how to run a WordPress website locally. I mean, this can be used for for developing sites locally, and then if you want to download a website that's currently live on a server to make changes locally or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to try it out, and we're going to do a demo of it using my website. And then we're going to run it locally, show you that it works, and show you how we got there. So the program that I use is called MAMP, and that stands for Mac, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. And basically, this is a free piece of software, and you just install it on your Mac, and then you can run PHP-based sites or pieces of software or anything like that, and that is all locally. So there's a free version, so we downloaded it and then we installed it. There is a Windows version. I've used WAMP before, which is exactly the same. If anything, I think it works a little bit better than the Mac version. That's just purely from the end user ease of use point of view, but I think it works better. I mean, it works the same, but I think it's just easier to navigate around. So, I mean, they're both free. They both do a great job. So, anyway, we're using the Mac one today, and this is how you run a WordPress website locally. So, close that down. This is a website you want to download. So, the first thing you want to do is actually download a copy of your website. So, I choose FileZilla. And I've got my copy of my website here on the desktop. So once that's downloaded, you want to install MAMP. Once that's downloaded and installed, you want to run it, and then this little box pops up. All you want to do is click Start Servers. It might need a little bit of configuring, but once that's done and it's started, it'll open up in your browser the MAMP page, the local host page. You see this has changed to local host. You need to play around with the settings a little bit. I've got mine so it goes to 8888 port. That's just what I needed to do for my configuration and my router and everything, but that'll generally work for most people. So obviously, being a WordPress website, you have two parts that you have: the files itself, and you have then the database. So to run the database, you need to download it first from your server. So what you want to do is you want to take a copy of your database, which you can get by logging into your host. Most hosts have a link to do PHP MyAdmin, which you can then go to the database and just click export as an SQL and download it that way. Mine uses cPanel, my hosting, so there's an easy way to navigate into that way. If you can't access that, just ask your host and they should be able to provide that for you. It's something that you should be able to have access to. It's nothing hidden. There's nothing there that the host shouldn't let you have access to. So once you've downloaded your local copy of your database, so you should have your database and your demo, your website files. The first thing you want to do is copy across those website files into MAMP. So when you open up the MAMP folder, you've got quite a few things in there that you're not likely to use. The only two you are going to use is htdocs. That's like your htdocs on your server, or your www folder on your web server, or anything like that. That's essentially that. So in there is where you'll create a folder, and in that folder is where you'll put your website files. So I'm going to call this Matt, and then in there I'm going to copy across my website files. So they're all in there now. The second part is obviously the database. So you want to go back to the home of MAMP. You want to go to the DB folder, database, MySQL, and you just want to create a folder in there. So we're going to call my database Matt. Matt_DB. This folder will be the name of your database. So you don't have to do anything else in there now. That's done, sorted with. We will need to go back to that folder shortly, but we don't need to go back to it just yet. So we'll leave that for now. So you want to go back to MAMP, and you want to go to the root of your domain. So the root of your website. So I've set that up on /map. So I just want to go /map. Now you'll see there it has an error establishing the database connection. That's because we haven't uploaded it yet. So to upload the database, you just go back to your MAMP home, click on My PHP Admin, and you'll see there the folder I created, mat_db, is there. It's empty. So all you need to do is go import, navigate to your file. So that's on my desktop, and I'm in the database. Yes. Right, go. There we go. That's imported. That's all in there now. Now, before you leave this, because it still won't connect, what you need to do is go to Options, WP Options, and then make sure you're on Browse. Then in here, you need to change two values. You need to go to the site URL. That's currently set to my domain. You need to edit that, and you need to set it to your localhost domain. So mine will be localhost colon 8888/MAMP. Oh, no, sorry, /mat. MAMP or mat? Can't even remember now. Yeah, /mat. So that is what you want to put in that box. The reason you need to change that is because when you go to the homepage of your website, it's set up in WordPress, so it's gonna look for the domain that you currently had your website on live on the server. Well, obviously we're not looking to run it on the server, we're looking to run it locally. So you need to change that value. You will then also have to go to the next page and then change this one here, the home. That one also needs to be changed. So just copy and paste the same thing into there. Oh. So localhost mat. Go. That's done. Right. You still won't be able to access the website. That's because we need to change the database information in the WP config file. So if you go to your MAMP folder, go to htdocs, go to your folder, find your WP config. Now I've already removed my database information here, but it would essentially say that it will have the database information, your password, the username, and the name of the database that was running on your server. So what you want to do is rename that with the values that MAMP give you. So if you go back to your MAMP page, we're done in here now, so we can go back to the start. It gives you here these values. It shows you that the host is localhost, as it would be, and the username and password are both root. Now remember, we named the database mat_db, so that is what that will be in the database name. Oh, db. Okay. And then the user is root, and the password is also root. Localhost is what we need to be on, so we'll just save that. Go back to here. Go back to your domain that you'll be running off, so localhost and the port number, and then the folder you've called it. So hopefully when I press refresh, it should load the website. Okay, I can't find the image, but the website has loaded. Now the reason why the images aren't going to load is because if I just go to inspect element there, it's just searching for the theme. So it's going to the root domain then / WP content that way. So obviously it's not going to find it straight away because it's obviously on a different folder. But as soon as you use to change this to, as soon as I change this to / map, I'll do that now just so you can see that it does work. So if I go map, then here we go, the logo's back there. So all I need to do is go into the file and just change it so that everything is / mat on it, and then you'll be able to access the website. Now that is done now, so I can then go on to / WP admin. I can then log in with my details to WordPress, which aren't them, and then I have my working website, which is running locally on my machine, and that is all you need to do. That will work. One thing I must stress, which means I do have to log into WordPress for. One thing I must stress is that the website links won't work as they're supposed to. So if I open up the site again, if I click on contact, oh, well, they shouldn't in theory. That is strange. Generally, the permalinks aren't supposed to work. If you do have any problems, if you set the permalinks to default, they will display just as the page numbers of what they are. So, say that page ID is, here we go. So that page ID is 7. It displays as 7. So if you do have any problems with the naming of the URL, just reset the permalinks to default, refresh the page, and as long as you set up your menu properly, you should be able to go and navigate all those pages absolutely fine. And that's essentially it. So it's only just a few stages. You need to download a copy of your website. I'd choose FileZilla. Download a copy of your website. Download and install MAMP, or WAMP if you're on a Windows machine. Download a copy of your database. Then once you've installed your local host client, you want to go to htdocs, create a folder in there, drop your website files into that. You then want to go to DB folder, MySQL, create a folder in there. You then want to go to the MAMP start page, then PHP admin. You want to navigate to the folder you created for your database, import the database. Then you want to go to the options panel, browse, change the site URL, and then on the next page it's the home URL. Once those have changed, you need to change in your WP config file the database information. That is generally found from MAMP. I think on Windows there is no password, but it is username as root, so it's very, very similar. Once you've saved that, you'll have your working website in your browser. And obviously if you haven't got any, you need to change image paths or anything like that moving forward, but generally it should work straight away. And that's basically it. If you do have any questions, of course, drop me an email. My contact details are here, here and here. Always available on Twitter as well. And please shout about the video.